assumption, so we don't have to take any note. So again, we have
Good.
Jessica, we have Andrea, we have Paul, and obviously
Or
we have
yeah, good.
I'm the ugliest one, so I don't need to be in the scene. So we
Okay.
get the beautiful ladies in the scene. That's the most
No,
important
no,
thing.
good.
Is the ladies. And
Yeah,
so,
sure.
so anyway, we had a nice chat about the Clydesdale coin and about the 17 apps, and he's correcting me that we don't want to make it's just a game. We want to make it, a long-term sustainable, induce emotional positivity. Yeah. So anyway, I'll let you.
Anyone else?
No,
Do
just-
you wanna
we'll have it
record the Zoom or put the note thing?
No, it's recorded.
Okay,
Yeah, I've got the AI recording, AI taking notes already.
sorry.
We'll have an
Yeah.
extensive discussion, of course, about the requirements and the ideas and the master plan of Dr. Ying regarding, what he wants as a philosophical, as a, intentional, but also especially, technological, how do I say this? Opportunity, right? To be able to monetize, but
Yeah.
also to effectuate a certain message, which is of course in the dominion of Dr. Ying, because he is the one who was the visionary behind this entire festival, and also the one who
Yeah.
has established an incredible. Have you told Dr. Stefan about your research and everything?
Well, I haven't gotten into that yet. I'm getting embarrassed. Just call me Leon, because I'm not a real doctor. Jessica's the real doctor. So when I'm in her presence, I feel guilty being called doctor when I'm just a PhD physicist. I'm a physicist. Of course, again. So
Genius.
yeah, call me Leon. We're
Oh,
all
good.
genius. Well, you know Jessica enough.
Let's get-
She's been modern.
yeah.
She's also.
Yeah,
we're all
let's be
genius. That's one
simple.
thing we
Let
all have in this group is we're all very, very powerful emotionally and intellectually. So yeah,
yeah,
so
let's be
that's why
humble. Let's
I'm
call
just
by our first
yeah.
name.
So Leon, yeah. So
So we'd
yeah.
like to hear about what your vision was.
Okay, yeah. All right. Let me give you a little fill in then. So
Yeah.
as I said, I'm a nuclear physicist. So I got my PhD in nuclear physics in '93 in University of Liverpool, best football team in the world. I came to America in '93. So I worked for a big corporation like Thermo Fisher, the largest life science
Yeah.
company, $50
Mhm.
billion. I'm sure you heard of them. I work for small companies as well. But anyway, when there's a midlife crisis in 2015, I set up this global organization called Our Collective. We're established in Asia, Africa, and obviously North America and Europe as well. So we operate on a holy trinity of the ABC, which we holistically operate to art, business, and charity. We believe why there's like you said, the long-term sustainability is because things tend to break down because they're not built on a three-leg. The most stable, as you know, you're a scientist, the most stable store is three-legged, a tripod stable, right? And everything should be built on this holy trinity. And that's why I built the operating model of Our Collective that integrate the three most important aspects of humanity, which is art, business, and charity, right? Art is to our very soul. It is what develops love for us, right? Love for the music, love for artwork. It is literally the love that we experience. Business is important. We live in a materialistic world, whether you like it or hate it. The world runs on money right now, or crude oil, if you want to call it the reality. But that's the reality of the world that we live in, okay? And the charity is our very soul. It's the reason we love. It's the reason why we're making money. And that, to me, we build that, operate our system on that integrity. I believe that is what will be long-term sustainable. And and that's why the Clydesdale coin, and like you said, not a game. We're here to enlighten. We're here to educate. We're here to develop economic profitability. We're here to do all those things. So it is long-term, it is sustainable. So people can basically focus on being wealthy, focus on evolving, focus on conquering outer space, focus on conquering the inner spirit, rather than focusing on killing each other. I mean, it's really that simple, okay? And obviously, I was blessed because of my twin universe discovery. I found my God through science. So I came through a different path through God, and that's my ultimate mission in life. And so many miracles have happened to me. When we get together, I'll tell you. But one of the biggest miracles is obviously coming in contact with Dr. Jessica, who's a real doctor, so I can call her Dr. Jessica, and obviously through Jessica Poor as well, and obviously Ian, my TriStar, my most beautiful, talented wife here. So we're here for a greater reason. I don't think this is coincidence. I think this is divine fate, what we brought together. We geniuses here to do absolute great things for all the world, not for America, not for China, not for Africa, but for the whole world. And that's why this entity that we're doing, the Grand Festival, will come under the One Humanity, One World. This is a beautiful platform which my wife created. Originally, it's created as an anti-racism campaign, but it's evolved into an educational platform because we need to educate, and that's the app as well. The app, one of the important things is to educate with positiveness, so people want to be engrossed by it and everything, right? So, like I said to you, I'm blessed indeed to be. God has delivered such amazing angels into my life that make these incredible things. Like before you came, now we're even talking about putting our footprints on the moon. Seriously, my God, I'm like, seriously, I thought I was crazy, but now I'm surrounded by these really crazy people. And not only they're crazy, but they're actually going to make it happen. That's how insane it is that these people are so crazy that they're actually going to make these things happen. And that is why I'm so excited and blessed. But enough of my talking. So Dr. Jessica will relay exactly what she's been doing in Malta and getting these things actually happening that we're talking about. So Dr. Jessica.
So, in terms of this wonderful opportunity for me to attend a gala concert in Malta, sorry, do you hear me?
Yeah, super well.
So, yes. So in terms of this wonderful opportunity, which was extended to me and my husband by a sheikh who happens to be the son of the former founder of OPEC. He is launching a clinic, a regenerative wellness clinic. The concept that we have been discussing, previously, it's something that is going to be a prototype for Malta, and it's bringing in, investors, partners, technology. We invite you to collaborate, of course, and we have this opportunity, this invitation extended to us to get to know, the executive team, their I guess their leadership, their visionaries, their advisors, and of course the diplomacy that is there in Malta and that supports this entire process. That happens to be in fact the Saudi government, the royal family, and they have this kind of leverage and opportunity. So we had the discussions, as part of some of the social outings and gatherings that we had outside of the concert. We had this opportunity to discuss the extensive, proposal, and they've seen the pitch deck. We've talked about the vision, we've talked about the opportunities, how to leverage monetization, how to align first and foremost the philanthropic goals, the diplomacy and the contact that we have that happens to be connected to. How would I say this, to world governmental leaders, right? We have the open doors for this. She happens to have pledged her involvement in this. It happens to be a former president's wife, and she aligns and resonates with the same platform that we all do for the purpose of the festival, which is children's education. So, out of all the wonderful creative discussions that took place, we already started planning curating an exhibition, or at least envisioning one that is going to give this message on a global and actually, extra global, extra global scale, because we have this opportunity to align with certain, let's say, missions that pertain to the moon landing, right? To the moon mission in February, to contacts that give us, basically a greater audience and a larger platform, right? So this happens to be some of the contacts that we had made in Miami, happens to be the contacts that we have through you, happens to be all the things that are aligning in this process, without being too big, although I am trying to be as big as possible. So what I want to say is that they've pledged their full commitment to this process. They are very excited about the artistic portion, which we're now in the midst of discussing. Monetization, the aim of monetization is to be as grand scale as we can humanly make it possible. Amen. So
Mhm.
we want to have the discussion, and we know obviously that technology is the pioneering process for this monetization, because that's where the world is headed. So we want to also use this festival to leverage the you know, the paradigm of innovation, influencing the educational platform, equalizing the standards, right, across the planet for children, giving this access to the technology that hasn't been formerly possible. So that's why we would love to have the discussion with you, so you can share your expertise on this matter, and just,
Has Stefan seen the deck yet?
you have, yes? I've sent you have I sent you the entire festival pitch deck, or not yet?
No, not yet.
I know.
Not yet. Not
Okay,
yet.
I thought I had sent like snippets of it, but my apologies. So
Okay,
Yes,
well, Stefan, if you want, just put your email in the chat, and I'm going to send you this recording, and I'm going to send you the latest deck as well, so you'll have it. Okay.
Yeah, great.
Right.
Yeah, that would be
And
fantastic.
then
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna let my wife.
Yes.
So I'm gonna let Andrea. She's the creator of One Humanity, One World. So I'm gonna let her have a little say, introduce herself as well. Andrea.
Well, sure. Well, hi, Stefan. So
Andrea.
it's actually Andrea. I'm Spanish, but I'm actually a world
Andrea.
citizen. I really don't belong anywhere but the planet Earth. I've been the head of
Right.
marketing of our collective for the last almost 7 years now. I'm also work in the entertainment industry. I'm a film producer and a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I started One Humanity, One World back in 2020. As Leon said very rightfully, it started as an anti-racism movement. But do you know what's the root of racism? It's ignorance, actually. And the key to
Absolutely.
actually
Yeah.
change the world, it's actually education. It all lies in education. And just to give you an example, in the country I grew up, Spain, every time a new political party wins power in the elections, the first thing that they do, they change the education curriculum. That's the first thing they do before they touch any other thing. Why? Because those who control education controls the narrative of the next generations of future voters and future citizens. Human beings that are
100%.
going to become lawyers or future presidents. And what happens is that we have an educational crisis in the world. Not only the quality of education is terrible because it's a system that hasn't evolved in the past century, it's also very lacking because almost 40% of the world population is illiterate. They can barely read or write. We're talking about at least 4 billion people that we know of that cannot properly read or write. And you know what happens when you cannot read or write? You don't know that you have human rights. You don't know that you deserve the bare minimum, right? Or like the 17 SDGs that the United Nations talk about. You don't know about those things, and you become a victim of the system, and you end up in slavery or in early workforce or human trafficked. And all of that is tied to the lack of education we have in this world. Same with the hatred, same with the bigotry. I believe that all children are born innocent and loving. A baby is not born racist, They learn that from their environment, from their parents. Hatred is something that we have to learn. But if you don't teach hatred and you teach tolerance and you teach peace, so that's one of the things our platform not only advocates for human rights all around the world, it also has created this new holistic curriculum with a different type of education when we're teaching children not just how to read and write, which is extremely important, not just a second language, which is extremely important, or advanced mathematics and sciences. We're also teaching subjects like mental health, communication with your family. We have a subject to teach the parents how to have a better relationship with their children. We have sustainable environment, how to take care of the planet. But I'm not going to bother you with that. But just to give you an insight on how we actually want to change the world, we believe that the new generation can do so much better if we give everybody the same rights, because education is a human right? So that's what I'm passionate about.
So Stefan,
it's amazing.
As you see, my wife and Jessica are the true geniuses, the talent behind this creator.
Absolutely.
And they're the creative genius behind what we're doing. But saying that, the business end is also taken care of, and that's by boring people like me. I hope Paul don't mind me calling him boring. Yeah, so I want Paul to introduce himself. So we'll do the boring, crucial, boring stuff. So Paul, like I said, I hope I'm quite certain he doesn't mind. He don't take it as an insult.
No, I don't mind being called boring. I'm used to it. My kids are calling me boring all the time. And they left the fold and now they came back. So my family is growing. Rather than getting smaller, it's actually growing these days. But yeah, I'm the business guy. I ran my own business.
We met already,
yeah. I sold it in a large roll-up. And that's kind of what I fell in love with. I like roll-ups. I like M&A. I like carve-outs. I like putting things together, or sometimes you have to take them apart and sell the pieces. So I get involved with both sides. In this case, I really like the fact that our mission is one of philanthropy, of education. Being an immigrant myself, I'm all about education. I came here and I was in a poor town, and most of my friends did not finish high school, never mind go to college. And then I went to college, I got my MBA. So I'm an exception to the rule. And that did not go sort of unnoticed, So I want to help. And I think the way to do that is by organizing something like this and by putting these 4 pillars together in a way that is business oriented, I guess, for lack of a better word. So with that in mind, we created these 4 pillars, with the first and foremost being philanthropy, with the second being art and music and entertainment, with the third being sponsorships and branding of these artists, if you will, whatever genre they come from. And lastly, someone like me to help organize all these things and really ask the question, is this fundable? Is this going to make money? Because if it's make money, then the philanthropy end gets the money, the artists get their money, the brands and sponsorship get their return, and so on. So I'm sort of organized.
Makes sense.
To pull these things together and says, and in essence, I have to be the truth teller, right? Because I need to be the one that says, I don't know.
So he plays the bad cop, and Andrea and Jessica, the good one. Him and me play the bad cop, but Jessica, luckily, and Andrea plays the good angels.
But
Yeah.
the good he's protecting our
Of course, absolutely. Amen. You need, exactly.
So I've done this enough times now where I can tell you if something is going to pass the muster with a financial person, with an investor, or not. Okay, and we have a ways to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well,
amazing team. Very inspiring team.
So you see the team we have, right? We have all the pegs taken care of. We have the artistic side of it. We have the boring side, the business side that me and Paul will also take care of, which is all important. So I'm going to quickly, over the next 10 minutes, since you haven't seen the deck yet, which Andrea created, I'm just going to quickly go over the deck. I'm going to send you the deck itself later on, so you have time to digest on it. But
I put my email. You have my emails in the you have my emails.
Email there, but I'm going to quickly just go over the deck with you, so you see exactly the flavor of what we're actually doing. So just bear with me. I'm just going to open up the deck, okay? So you can see absolutely what's amazing. So let me share my screen with you. You just bear with me. Okay, can you see the Monaco Grand Festival? Okay, so this is created. So this is created by my wife Andrea. So Andrea,
beautiful.
So anyway, so this is Monaco Grand Festival. Okay, all the information, everything is copyrighted by our collective. This is our global organization that we created. Now, the entity that will run this operation will be the One Humanity, One World charity, which my wife created. Like I said, the education platform, the anti-racism platform. So there's a little bit up on Monaco. And again, I'm not going to go into too much detail because you're going to have the deck sent to you. But you can see it's very, very tasteful, very beautiful, visually stimulating. So our vision for this Monaco Grand Festival is to turn this into the Super Bowl of festival. The Super Bowl in America, the Super Bowl is the biggest sporting event here in America. We Americans like to believe it's the biggest sporting event in the world. Although, like I said, the FIFA World Cup is the biggest event, but it generates $1 billion for the city, the Super Bowl. So that's why we want to call it the Super Bowl of festival. So our partners here, we have the Royal Elite, who is our contact. Oh, yeah. Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur. Oh, this guy's football cat. So Royal Elite is, as I mentioned, our stars, which you see shortly, like Jamie Foxx, Sabrina Carpenter. Of course, Jessica has her own contact as well, but it's also Voice Ed, and the bottom there is our collective. So you see those partners that we have. So these are some of the stars that we can potentially line up. Jamie Foxx as our host. Why we choose Jamie Foxx? Well, he's a big celebrity.
He's charismatic. Everybody loves him.
Yeah, exactly. And he also does a Netflix series right now, which I want my wife to be part of co-production for this Monaco event. The reason why we chose Bad Bunny, he has a major hit called Monaco, which is viewed by several hundred million views. So we have connection to him as well. So here's a little background on other major music festivals. We all know Woodstock, the legacy, everything else. And that's what we want to build, the legacy. We don't want this just to be one-off. We want to make this, like you said, a long-lasting, emotionally positive event that will drag. And I said to you, like Paul said, art and music is going to be a prominent part of what we are showing. So art exhibition. And Jessica's already lined up a fabulous art director who runs the Metropolitan Order. So the caliber of people we're bringing on are like yourself, Stefan, the creme of the creme, the top of the top, all right? That's the kind of caliber we're bringing on board for this mega project. Now, like I said to you, there's art business. So we're not only doing the art, the culture, the entertainment, but our goal is also to host a business conference as well. So like Davos, where all the big powerhouses. So our goal is to entice the stars and have a big business, because I said money talks. So we want the money to follow us, right? We want to lead that. Another premise is to hold a business conference that, again, someone of Paul stature, he knows all the people here in Wall Street, etc., would do. So it's all encompassing. So we're giving this as an example. Live Aid, you're probably not old enough. I'm an old man. I know. Paul's probably maybe old enough to remember 80. But in 83, Live Aid was done.
I know. I was. I know well. Yeah, I was there.
Well,
not there,
but
now,
Stefan. You should have lied. Said no. You went bored. But anyway, joking aside,
I'm very happy with my age. I'm enjoying my age every day.
That's good. But in 83, Live Aid was put, and you see that
I know.
It was watched before the internet. It was watched by over 1 billion people all the world around. Okay. So that is the kind of legacy we want to make as well. So we want to, I said that we want to make history, breaking attendance record with the top performance of today. Okay. So now we did this because my wife and I were in Frankfurt last month to receive the Golden Planet Award. So Prince Albert of Monaco received a Lifetime Achievement Award at that. He couldn't attend in person because he had to go to Brazil for COP30 event. So, but it ties in exactly what we're doing, the Live Aid, etc. And the reason why Prince Albert received a Lifetime was for his environmental activism. So that is a core SDG in the United Nations as well. His wife, Princess Charlene, also has a foundation on education as well. So it all ties in completely. So Charlene and Jessica and Andrea will work perfectly on that education on SDG. That's why the SDG app that we're talking about, I think, is extremely important as well for what we're campaigning. So again, so here's an example, Prince Albert. So I hosted United Nations 2020, a major United Nations event in 2020 on climate action and poverty eradication. So to me, that's why the UN is such a focus for us. And Dr. Jessica was talking about bringing the entire world, knocking on all the world and creating art from each nation so we can take that artwork to the moon. So all I'm saying is let's go to the United Nations, because instead going to the world, Jessica will tell you that. Yeah, we'll tell that in a minute.
I can bring that to the moon,
let the world come to us in the United Nations. And so we are affiliated United Nations. And again, Prince Charlene, the wife of Prince Albert, and my wife. One humanity, one world is an ideal, perfect, synergetic thing focused on education. And here's examples of some of the stars that will be on our event. So Jamie Foxx will be the host. He will do a documentary for Netflix. And these are some of the stars. Now, I spoke to Mark. He said, "Oh, these can we name?" And he said, "Absolutely." So these are stars that we have access to, to perform. And I don't think I need to tell you who these stars are.
Wow.
They're world famous all the world over. So some of the iconic venues in Monaco. Also, Mark wants to host a private yacht event, and I would say we host in Monaco. That's where all the super yachts are taken anyway.
Yeah.
So again, I had a breakdown of the financial budget, and these are the quote the boring stuff that me and Paul will work on. So this is the financial budget.
It's critical, Leon.
Which is, of course, absolutely. But more importantly, is are we going to make any money? And that's what Paul said, right? We make money so we can sustain our charitable humanitarian effort, and obviously for the sponsors, for the investors, etc. And one of our goals is the streaming. So like Live Aid had 1.9 million live audience. So we should be able to get 1 billion stream. And if we're selling $10 a stream, 1 billion, well, it doesn't take a math genius to figure out how much money potentially we can be making out. And of course, with your technology base, you will help us in creating the streaming platform. Of course, if we work with Netflix may want to do the streaming themselves. So that's something that we'll have to talk about. The ticket sale is small. Like we hold the events at the Lewis Stadium in Monaco. That's only 16,000. So we sell the ticket at $200. That's only 3.2 million. So ticket sale will be minor. The big money is in the streaming and also in the merchandising. Again, concession will bring in profitability, but the merchandise. I'll give you an example. Hello Kitty is a 80 billion, I believe, franchise. So if Hello Kitty can get 80 billion, there's no reason why we cannot be as big, if not bigger, right? So the big money is in the streaming and in the merchandising, and the technology, these apps, the Clydesdale coin, all those will allow us to basically capture the money market. And you capture the media, you control the media, you control the money, you control the world. That's the reality, okay? Control the media, control the money, you control the world. Full stop, okay? And obviously there'll be sponsorship and donation as well that we take. And President, these are the executive team. I didn't put Paul yet on this thing because this was done a while ago. But Mark, you see my ugly face. You see obviously my beautiful Andrea. You obviously see Jessica face there, and obviously Mark as well, and some other entities. But we'll be updating this deck with other people. Like I said, with you as a prominent member, I'm sure we'll include you at the deck. And let's make history. So let Dr. Jessica now tell you of this exciting opportunity about putting all the artwork around the world onto the moon. And I'm going to send you this deck as well. Okay. So thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So in terms of bringing it all together, Stefan, we have these critical pillars of the arts and philanthropy, unquestionably, that we are now masterminding creatively with Andrea's involvement, because we are co-creative directors, and we're putting it all together. So all our contacts, we've appointed the arts director, we've appointed a music director who happens to be also a world-class violinist, Grammy Award winning, full open doors and leverage to. I spoke to you about that. So she can bring us Madonna. She can bring us any iconic figure.
We had a chat with her. We had a chat with her.
Exactly, just briefly over the phone. Exactly. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of meet everyone, of course, informally. So in terms of the arts, right? In terms of the arts, I was at Art Basel Festival for the purpose of meeting the organizers also, because our arts director happened to connect me to all of the executives and some of the artists that were exhibiting. So I had the wonderful privilege to meet a gentleman named Lawrence Gartel, who could be compared to the digital graphics Andy Warhol of our time. He has been exhibited at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Guggenheim, the MoMA. He was contracted to create digital graphics for the Grammy Awards, the Olympics, Coca-Cola. He has extensive connections. Now he's in collaboration with an Academy Awards nominated composer for a immersive, frequency kind of holistic and let's say otherworldly incorporation of let's say, sound immersion into one of his exhibitions that he's working on. So I met him as well. He came specifically for the purpose of the festival to just sign the contract, and I've invited him also for our initiative. It turns out that his wife is an Academy Award winning director, and she's now directing the film called Viva Verdi, which is very interesting, something to talk about in regards to holistic well-being and mental health. So we'll talk about that later on. But we're getting the best of the best. Obviously, the world-class entertainment, world-class artists, visionaries who are now pioneering things that are above the mainstream at this point in time. So we've invited them for the collaboration. They have pledged already the full commitment and involvement, and now we're in the midst of actually curating an exhibition, because this goes fast. The moment the inspiration is ignited, the process propels forward. So we had the opportunity to meet, also by happenstance, perhaps by divine alignment, a woman who Paul has met. We've met their their executive kind of team and the committee of the international space. Remember, Miss Liji, Liji. So yes, Zhu, Miss Liji Zhu, a fascinating persona. She's it's. Basically, with all the wonderful individuals that are coming together, inspiring themselves, we're masterminding a process that will essentially give us the opportunity to market this festival and not just market, but present and voice the vision behind the festival, as Leon had mentioned, to bring it to a not only global level, but send it off into the moon. So put a mark and imprint on the moon of what we're trying to establish, because what it is leverage for education, is leverage for the children, leverage for a certain unquestionable fundamental virtue, which is making sure that people are well, and that life is secured, and that everyone gets an equal opportunity for growth and prosperity and health, especially. So we've discussed this, and we've essentially now started the process of curating an arts display. I've already spoken to Lawrence about this. He's now actually figuring out the process of how to technically effectuate this. But because the Sheikh, who is sponsoring our event, his son happens to be a philosopher and a visionary and an intellectual that's of course sits on the committee of I believe in an astronomical committee. So he's
beautiful.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. So I've proposed this option that we can send artwork to the moon, and we'd like to show our gratitude to your generosity by incorporating a concept that your son created. So I was on the plane just thinking, how do we make this work, and how do we actually get of course, the interests of the diplomacy also involved in all of that, because we have to integrate everybody's platform, everybody's interest, everybody's heart who wants to be a part of this one humanity, one world. So I mentioned to Leon and Andrea and Paul that we met with the former Palestinian president's wife, and she's heavily invested in the platform of education, and she will open up all diplomatic doors for us if necessary, and she wants to be a part of this process. So I invited her graciously to join. She will open up UNESCO for us. She will open up the United Nations for us. She will open up, in fact, the presidency's, let's say, representation for Palestinian, war relief efforts and children's education efforts. So we're bringing the whole world to this. So I was thinking, how do we make this work?
Wow.
How do we get that artwork on the moon? How do we get Liji to think that to say, yeah, I'm on board this process, right? So I called Liji this morning, and I told her that we have this amazing option. Her business is going to be obviously leveraged, and she we're gonna give exposure, and we're gonna give this opportunity to collaborate for all of us this world stage. So she said, yes, no problem. We can. And I said, how do we send artwork to the moon? How do we send a satellite with you? And what's the process? I said, please let us do this with you. So she said, yes, let's meet. So I'm going to be in Miami actually before the new year to meet with her and discuss all of this with her. So what the concept is that in order to have this well, we have this access into the diplomacy of the world. We officially reach out to every single government. We spoke about with Lyon to perhaps just address the United Nations in general for this world project. We will request the possibility to for them to contribute artwork from each nation's artwork, children's artwork especially, right, from each nation.
Beautiful.
To create a mosaic that reflects a tree of life, which is, of course, the philosophy behind every ecumenical, right, like spiritual practice, right, that leverages, a universal concept of consciousness, right? So we get the tree of life representing children's artwork from the planet, Jewish children, Palestinian children, children of all walks of life,
Whatever.
Sick, the diseased children, everyone on board equally. And we give them this opportunity to kind of, we give this voice to what we're trying to advocate for. And we
Just a crazy idea is we take each of these artworks, so there could be like 200 pieces. We NFT it, digitize it. We put that digitizes it on like a floppy disk and whatever, so that we can transport it to the moon and put it on the moon, the representation.
They have a robot.
But then the real artwork, we would then auction it at Sotheby's and thing and raise millions, hopefully billions, right? Like these NFTs are now on the moon and you can buy a piece of history, right? So imagine we sell each of these pieces. Let's just say someone buys $1 million, and there should be, right? $1 million. There's enough millionaires and billionaires that each one of them would love to buy for a charity. So we sell those 200 pieces at $1 million each, right?
Yes.
To raise funds. That's $200 million. So that's an idea where we, like I said, get the artwork, we NFT it, send it to the moon, and when you sell the pieces here, auction to raise money for all the humanity, all the children of the world.
So here's the really cool part about all this is amazing, and this is exactly what it's going to be. But here's the cool part: like we get the concept of this tree of life as represented by the children's artwork on this moon in a floppy disk, but we have a robot. So the artist works with robotics. So he gives the concept, and the robot paints this work. So we can have a Netflix series about it, how we came around to this process. We can have a huge, wonderful exhibition, and a demonstration of how this robot creates that art, right? With so many media and creative aspects around all of this can let's say conjure themselves up, right, with our involvement, with our leverage on our networks, in order to monetize as well, right? Because we're obviously as creative as possible here. So we
should send a robot on the moon, and the robot is drawing on the sand of the moon the trees of life.
Exactly. Oh, wait, can we? Would you get that done for us?
A robot can do that, sure. Anyway, or on Mars, whatever.
That's the intention, to get these robots on the moon. So essentially, that's the situation, and there's so much more where that came from.
So much, plenty of
specifics
things.
Of the process of how to apply, of who to leverage, who to get in contact with. The websites are already given to me. Where to start the application process, and it's happening. So I'll meet with her in Miami before we're going to be flying out, I think on the 26th, 27th. So I have to book it all. But I'm going to meet with Lawrence Gartel. He's going to show me his workshop and how the robot paints. So we'll talk about more the creative concept, right, for the exhibition, to curate all of that, the specifics of it all. And then we bring that together, of course. And I already, the Sheikh knows. The Sheikh is like, thank you. He's like, this is wonderful. And he said, do this for Palestine. We have to do something for Palestine. He said, no problem. We'll do it for whoever we need to do it
for. For everyone. Because a few weeks ago we had a terrible massacre here in Sydney.
Exactly.
And I think, and then back to you, Andrea. I really believe that it's about education, and these people that killed 15 people just with cold blood, it's because they were totally ignorant, or they were totally or wrongly educated. I don't know if it's right or wrong education, but there is an issue of the how we.
Yeah, you can grab a baby from any corner of the world, from every corner of the world, put them in a room and ask them about politics or religion, and they will have the same opinion. They will say, Mama, Papa, that's all they care about. You are taught to believe in everything else way afterwards.
But Stefan, we need not only the education, but we need to give them great role models that they will follow, right? Great role models like Andrea, like Jessica,
Exactly, Leon.
hopefully like myself and Paul as well, that they'll inspire that. You know what? You can be successful, you can make lots of money, you can be married to a beautiful wife by being just good. You don't have to be a nasty piece of work to be successful. You can be good and be highly successful. And that is the role that we play as world leaders.
What exactly? And ask yourself, what is the definition of being successful? Everyone has his own definition, and it is not only having a lot of money, because you know probably more than people than me that have all the money they want, and are they feeling successful in their life? What it is. And it's starting, once again, it's starting by education, and you touch my heart, because I'm working on education since years and years, because the way how we educate, the way how schools are bringing information is absolutely the opposite way of how the brain is working. So we need to also rethink how we deliver the information, how we retain, because you can have an amazing education program, but if the people are not retaining and remembering what you said, you waste your time and you waste your money. So
Well,
and the brain,
that's why we change educational system. No, our educational system is holistic education. It's not about remembering, it's about actually learning. When you learn something, you learn it for life. It's not something you remember for an exam, it's a life lesson. But you talk about success, and let me just say, everybody has their own definition, but there will always be a universal one. And when we talk about this festival, I'm telling you now, I want to make it the greatest show on earth, literally the greatest show on earth. And you say, oh, can
happiness.
Yes, because we not only have the amazing access to the great superstars, we're also going to hire the best. We have like Weiserman, Live Nation, and we have brilliant minds like Jessica that give us all these possibilities of collaboration with these amazing people. And I think this is a cause that is universal, right? So who wouldn't love part of this and to push this, to make this the greatest show on earth? So I think we have the magic.
So Stefan, that's why I earlier said you're in a group of insane people here. But the difference between sanity and genius is that the genius gets things done. So you know that these insane people that we're surrounded are going to get things done. And that's why is the
absolutely
sanity and genius.
But let's make it
genius, because we're going to make these things happen. Absolutely. And with people like you, the caliber of people that we're working with, it will be done.
That's
I want to
fantastic.
thank Jessica again for this great introduction to you, Stefan, and I'm quite certain this thing's going to absolutely get launched beyond the moon. The moon is just a stepping stone. The moon is just a stepping stone, Stefan.
Stefan, I'm so grateful to have met all of you. And I think, as you know, how we met and how I've met Leon and Paul, this has all been divine alignment. There's no question about it. So it's brought this wonderful creative, discussion into fruition. We do have the most fundamental pillar in this regard of quite effectively pledged involvement of this prominent investment network. So we have this creativity, and that's why we are speaking about the moon, and we have that audacity to do so, because they are absolutely on board with the vision and this process. So we have the pillars to effectuate this. So in terms of discussing especially the technological aspect, and the fact that you have been appointed as our innovations director, and you'll be leading and masterminding with Leon and Paul the process of the creativity in technology on how to monetize and leverage our philanthropic causes, but of course with this grand reverberation of a possibility to continue and outbranch in partnerships in technology and and elsewhere in the holistic healthcare center, the mental health care center sector, in leveraging certain sustainable development goals, right? Which we have 17 up, and which of course Leon had suggested that we create an app or create some kind of technological product that will monetize.
I'll discuss with Leon about that.
Also can be connected to the cryptocurrency concept that you were speaking of. So could you tell us a little bit more about the concept and the idea of how to begin the process of approaching this entire grand scale project?
Yeah, sure. I can, because I just saw the slide right now. My vision in how I can, because what can I bring to you guys? Because that's also the question is, you are extremely talented people, and say, okay, I'm very humble and say, as a neuroscientist by background, what can I bring? And humbly, I think I can bring a touch of neuroscience and a touch of how actually and using the way how our brain is working to harmonize what we are bringing to people. And it's extremely, and then I took the example of education. Sometimes we bring something that they actually at the opposite of how actually our brain is working, and how we can bring technology to actually enhance the way how our brain is working beautifully. And that's what we call mental health. That's what we call happiness. That's what we call gratitude or self-esteem or confidence. So how can we bring that to people with this amazing idea of the Grand Monaco Festival? How can we bring this type of emotion to people and using technology? And of course, art is the number one driver of emotions. So in terms of how we can monetize that or bring some value to that, I call that like emotion, monetization. So you just put a monetization, you put an E in front, it's monetization. So how can actually create a system that can bring value to our positive emotions, and how we can monetize and transform that into a system that can bring universal access to health. And how can we bring beyond dollars? How can we bring beyond dollars a value of something that can be used for your mental health and for your health? And that's all the concept of using that crypto technology or blockchain technology in order to bring what we have the most inside of us is our emotion, and how can we monetize that? How can we use that as a value to bring and to use that for our own health? I just give a simple example. If we are able through the Grand Monaco Festival creating a value like the Clista coin, and this Clista coin is actually starting to be generated by your emotions, by your positive and mentally high emotions. If we can monetize that and use that for other health purposes, and then just back to one example, you go to this festival, you generate a lot of Clista coin, and then a few months later, you have a car accident, and you need health. You should be able to use this Clista account to actually have access to health. So that's the chain of art. I say I add another arm. It's a chain between art, business, charity, and health. And how we can actually using all these elements in order to stay healthy. Because at the end of the day, if you are not healthy, you can't do anything. So it's the core root of, that's what I'm thinking, core root of the human. And education, art are absolutely critical as well. But I think the health part is very important. How can we monetize this system in order to have access to health for everyone, and not just by dollar?
Amen. And the health is, like I say, its own holy trinity. You got to be healthy of mind, which comes in the education. You got to be healthy of body, like you said, the physical part of it, and you got to be healthy of the soul as well. So everything, whether it's the education platform, whether it's the health system, operates in this holy trinity. That's what will maintain the long-term sustainability.
Yes.
Now, I just want to ask: do you have your do you do your own programming blockchain, or do you have a group of developers that work on the blockchain system to create these crypto and these apps?
I have experts. I am not personally a technician on that, but I have a group of experts that are involved in the crypto since the beginning of the BitCount. So
Okay.
huge expert in that can work with us in order to bring that into a technological level. Now bringing that, and that's why I would like to discuss a bit more longer, probably with you, Leon, Jessica, Andrea, and then Paul, is this concept of how can we create another e-money, and using the Clista account in order to add value to the existing money, to the existing dollar.
Yeah, no, I
And that's
totally concur with you. What I'll do is I'll host a separate. So this is more of a creative meeting. It gives you a quick
yeah,
overview of
exactly.
what we're creativity, but we should have a separate one based on the innovation technology. So how the Clystar coin, how we evolve it, how we monetize it, and how we get it adopted. Because I'm like I said, this is the insanity. I want Clystar coin to be bigger than Bitcoin. I want it to be the biggest adopted cryptocurrency in the world. So that's where my insanity is. The genius will come if we make it happen. If we make that happen, then we become geniuses. But first, you start with the insanity. That's the goal.
I have
That's
few
my
idea.
insanity.
Leon, I have few idea how we can do it. My top specialty is neuroscience, AI, technology, and health.
Yeah.
That's really my top specialty. And because of my expertise in AI and technology, I have strong connection with blockchain specialists. I'm just going to publish a paper on blockchain and health hopefully in Lancet in few weeks. So
brilliant. Yeah, Lancet, the medical, biggest Lancet.
Prestigious journal.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
absolute. I also published my own AI blockchain of why, like I said to you, we need a properly developed commandments to protect ourselves from the AI legacy that could potentially destroy the creator. But that's something we can talk philosophically. Now, the big monetization, the big adoption is tying in with these superstars. Therefore, we tie the Clystar to our Grand Festival event, to all these superstars, to Jamie Foxx, to Taylor Swift, to Sabrina Carpenter, and get that association. That is where we can have very, very rapid adaptation. Is that these are the people that are idolized by not hundreds of millions, but literally by billions of people around the world. And that is on the marketing side of aspect. So, so we'll talk about the technology, you, me, and Paul, and the technologists. We'll talk about what the technology behind the AI, the blockchain, and then we'll talk with the marketing people to describe how we take the marketing, the promotion, the big name, and that is how we turn our insanity into genius, and that we will get that adopted. Because my wife would know, when Taylor Swift writes one Instagram posting, she's literally read by 100 million people, like within minutes, right? That is a target audience.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
Yeah, and that's an aspect. Yeah, Leon, that's an aspect that I really would like. Talking is because these people, when you're looking at their own life, they struggle with mental health. So if we talk with them in terms of that, you are probably a superstar, but also every day when you go to sleep, you are struggling mentally healthy because it's so overwhelming to be a superstar, that if we can bring that element to them and saying that we create a Clystar to make people mentally healthier, I'm pretty sure they will be interested to go into that direction as well.
Robin Williams killed himself, right? So a lot of these celebrities, they have these mental issues and that. So you think they're so rich, so famous, but they have their own inner demons that they themselves need to overcome. So that's absolutely right.
Has their own mental health foundation. They are supportive.
So absolutely. So we tie that in. We get the celebrity endorsement for them. Then that's where we will turn our insanity into realization and becoming geniuses. So yeah, we
Yeah.
have all the pieces together now. So like I said to you, I'll convene a technology-based Zoom that we'll talk. Of course, Andrea and Jessica will be involved in the technology side, but we nerds can talk more about the AI, the blockchain, all that stuff, the nerdy stuff that we want to create. Okay. So
Okay.
Anyway,
Paul,
Stefan, we could probably talk
good.
for another 10 hours, but I know.
No, good. And I
Yeah.
just want to hear. Just can I ask a question to Paul, because he's on the back. But Paul, question for you: how, in just a nutshell, quick answer, how do you see that enormous, amazing? That's probably the project of my life, if I can participate in that humbly. How do you see that it's gonna make it happen? What are the key 3 or 4 key element that you see? Yes, we can make it happen. It's going to happen, and how? Practically.
Well, the first key element's finding the right venue that we can start talking about, that we can start actually promoting. Because right now we have a little bit of uncertainty about where this is going to occur, right? So that to me, that's a critical path. And then number 2 are sponsors. Once the sponsors come in, we already have a good, with the help of Jessica here, we have a pretty good idea of how we're going to get this thing sponsored. We have ideas with the sponsors. Simultaneous with the sponsors, the artists, it's a catch-22, right? It's basically who comes first, the sponsors or the artists? Well, the artists have to come first. If we know that, let's say Taylor Swift is going to be part of this thing, then we're going to get sponsors to step up.
Yes.
Sponsors, and then the artists, that's kind of the next step, B step after the venue. And that's really it.
Okay.
So everything else will be easy if we can line up the artists, if we can line up some sponsors, then we have the business plan,
the snowball effect.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Because it's I'm a doer, but also I'm a visionary, and it's very important to mix the vision and doing, because if you don't have vision, you can't do anything. But if you only have vision, nothing's gonna happen.
Well, it's important to lay the foundation. That's why I lead with education, right? Because if
me too. Love it.
That the philanthropic aspect of this is important, then they're going to step up. If they don't believe it, then they're going to be like, I've seen this before, blah, 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 right? So you got to lead with the mission. And I said this last time we met, our mission is one of world education. We start with that. Everything else emanates from that.
All right. Perfect.
So the sponsorship emanates from that, the artists emanate from that, the venue emanates from that, everything else emanates from that core mission, which is world education, or one humanity.
Thank you, Paul.
So obviously, Paul gave you a brilliant breakdown on each of those facets. Pretty much, again, I'm not going to put my foot in my mouth, but we pretty much have those in places. It needs just to be joined up into the right order, like Paul said. Is it chicken or egg? But we know which one's going to come first. So, but I said, it still needs work to be done. Okay, it still needs work to be done. But that's why we have these insane people, geniuses, right, to make this thing happen. Okay, and it will happen. You've seen the caliber of people that are on board here. You see the caliber of performance.
Very impressed.
Not working with B or C listers, right? We're only working with A listers, right? And that's why Jessica said about you, right? Everything I've heard about you shows that you're a double A lister. Yeah, exactly, right? And that's why I'm going to talk. I want to talk to you about my science of cosmology and with the Prince as well. Now that I find out he's into astronomy and all that, I want to talk to him about the science thing. Ultimately, that's where my love is in the scientific part.
Okay,
but
thank you.
This has been absolutely amazing conversation. I could talk with you another 10 hours, but I don't want to
let's do that later.
So I want to send you my ClaiStar blessing. I'll tell you why this is one day. This is a ClaiStar blessing. But I just wanted to just show everyone, Jessica, Andrea, and
Thank
Paul
you.
as well. So I want to thank you for your time. I'll send you this recording. I'll send you the deck as well. And I said to you, once we get everything in place, we'll readjust the deck. Probably, like I said, with you included as well. But I said to you, for now, I'll just send you the deck as is.
All
and
good.
Then
All good.
Forward,
Thank you.
I'll set up a separate technology innovation Zoom that we can then talk hours about how we're going to use AI and blockchain to create the technology to, like I said, conquer the world. So thank you again, Stefan. God bless you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. And thank you think about me. And I'm very, 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 very proud of being part of the team. Bye.
Stefan. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.